Oh, this one, ouch. Wait, we'll get started. Committe. What? I want to look into getting those batteries.
Okay, good.
All right, we are live. Harry, you can hear us? Sure you can hear us.
Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear everybody.
Okay, thanks, Harry. I want to start off tonight and just with Greg Davis. Happy birthday. Have some cupcakes around if anybody would like to indulge in those.
Extra large cupcakes.
Extra large cupcakes. You'll all notice, I'm sure, that I am sitting back at the head of the room. A little medical issue, we dissected aorta.
Just a few, very minor.
Couple of tongues and a stroke on top of it. So it will be down for a little while. I am certainly on the road back, and that certainly I appreciate all the comments, the letters, the prayers, emails, all of it. The fruit basket that was sent by the legislature, certainly appreciated, and you know, we're still working hard at it every day, and hopefully getting back to a full recovery. But I am back to work, and as not only here but back at my full-time job. So it's all good stuff for now. So thank you for keeping me in your prayers. With that, Ms. Handel.
Opening up Health Services Committee, 6:03 this evening. Kim could not be here, but Laura Churchill is here in her absence, and Laura give us an update on what's happening. Welcome back.
Thank you.
So just a brief update on COVID. I think what the staff are saying is it's not going away. Those were the words I was supposed to say, which just means that it's still among us. But I'm happy to say when you look at the numbers, if we look at 3 months ago today, there were 1,203 active cases. And as of today, there were only 69 active cases. So we're hovering around a 2% positivity rate. So it's just kind of bubbling along the surface. And so it's not really going away, but it isn't in any dramatic sense escalating at this point. So our vaccination rates are probably what's helping us, and the fact that we had quite a surge over the Christmas months probably offers some protection that we can hope for, especially with this new variant, which is thought to be the prevailing variant in this community. So 62.3% of folks are fully vaccinated in Greene County, and of those over age 65, 92% are. 53% have received the first booster shot. The booster has been approved. We are waiting for our medical director to sign off on standing orders for it so that we can be offering it downstairs.
The fourth shot, that is. And that's just not because I want a fourth shot. It comes with, I have some issue,
Yes.
right?
Anybody have any questions for me?
Has the state said anything about therapeutics or treatments for?
Yeah, the therapeutics are still available if you are diagnosed positive, and we can connect you to it, and it's on the websites and the DOH website as well. So, and we do continue to have deaths. I mean, fully 20% of the people that have died in our county died this year in 2022. So it isn't a zero risk if you do become infected and you're not vaccinated. So that will continue. It hasn't gone away. So we are trying to get back to normal business and resume our regular activities, and as is everyone. So we just continue to monitor and support the businesses and the schools and the community.
What's the suggested time lapse to get this fourth shot from the third shot?
I don't have that in my head. It's 4 months.
Well, I was gonna say
4 months.
4
yeah.
months, that's all?
Yeah.
That's what I read.
And the Kelly's Pharmacy, it is being offered at the pharmacies. So you don't need to wait. You're eligible. I encourage you to get the booster. and, be fully protected. So you wait for us. Okay. Sure. We do home visits too. That's another thing. If you have any constituents that are homebound, we certainly have had a number of cases where we'll go into the home and offer the vaccines and flu shots as well. So we do continue to support our homebound citizens.
Anybody else have any other questions for Laura? She's standing up in front of us. Thank you so much,
Happy birthday,
Laura.
right?
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Okay. First resolution, authorizing agreement with the Greene County Community Services Board and Prime Care Medical of New York, Inc. and budget amendment.
Davis.
Hobart and Davis, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Authorizing agreement between the Greene County Community Services Board and the Hudson Valley National Center for Veteran Reintegration, Inc. and budget amendment.
Hobart.
Hobart Boomer, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Authorizing agreement, Greene County Family Planning and Twin County Recovery Services, Inc., mobile van.
Davis.
Davis, Campbell, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Approving related service provider contract, preschool special education program.
Davis.
Davis, Hobart, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Authorizing agreement, Greene County Public Health Department and Joshua Rosenfield, MD.
Hobart.
Hobart, Boomer, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
He's in Florida.
That's carried. Accepting minutes, Medical Professional Advisory Committee, Utilization Review Committee, April, May, and June, Q2, 2020.
Davis.
Davis, Hobart, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Accepting minutes, Medical Professional Advisory Committee, Utilization Review Committee, July, August, and September, Q3, 2020.
Davis.
Hobart, Davis, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Accepting minutes, Medical Professional Advisory Committee, Utilization Review Committee, October, November, and December, Q4, 2020.
Davis.
Hobart, Davis, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Accepting minutes, Medical Professional Advisory Committee, Utilization Review Committee, January, February, and March, Q1, 2021.
Davis.
Davis, Hobart, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That's carried. Accepting minutes, Medical Professional Advisory Committee, Utilization Review Committee, April, May, and June, Q2, 2021.
Hobart.
Amber Hobart, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? That is carried. Is there anything else to come before Health Services Committee this evening?
I just want to mention if we could get the MCAT people to present to us. I know we talked about that at the last meeting. We had approved a contract with them and maybe give us some data as to how many calls they've done and people they've serviced. I know we talked about that at the last meeting. If we could get them to come next month, that would be great.
I had a Hobart to move, I didn't get a second.
Handle.
Thank you.
We are adjourned.
That was good, Patty.
You need me? I don't think
I'm
so.
gonna try.
Not tonight, you can.
No, I can't.
No intent of.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I am taking Mike's place tonight because he is not available. We have no agenda items for this month, but we do have President Carly Drummel to speak with us on a brief update of student enrollment. Is she here? Yes.
I'm here.
Good evening, everyone. Chairman Linder.
Carly, can I ask you to come to the podium so we can get your pretty face on the TV? Probably
My
can't say
makeup
that
look
tonight.
okay?
Looks beautiful.
All right, I'm going to start with the scholarship report from your incredible generosity that began in fall of 2020 and continued through 2021. I thought you might be interested to hear, how the money has been spent so far and what's left in the pot. So for fall 2020 and spring 2021, we had 57 applicants. 51 were approved for funding. Of that 51, 46 were enrolled in credit-bearing classes, 5 were enrolled in non-credit classes. 13 students who received funding in fall 2020 received funding again in spring 2021, and 17 graduated in spring 2021. 7 more continued to the past fall semester. Those students who graduated were in nursing, individual studies, construction technology, criminal justice, medical assisting, psychology, and social science. For fall 2021 and spring 2022, we're just about ready to complete our spring semester, if you can believe that. We had 58 applicants. It was up 1 from fall of 2020. 55 were approved for funding. 48 were enrolled in credit-bearing classes and 7 in non-credit, all English as a second language classes. 15 students who received funding in the fall received funding again, this spring. 9 have already registered for fall 2022 classes, and we have 10 people graduating on May 14th. And those graduates are in construction technology, nursing, computer science, criminal justice, environmental science, individual studies, medical assisting, and social science. The transportation fund that you allocated some dollars for, primarily the bulk of the funding, the Greene County Cares funding supports scholarships, but there is a chunk that came for transportation. $432 has been spent between 2021 and 2022, and that was for bus tickets for Greene County Transit. So bottom line, what we have left right now, just to recap for the grant that we got in 2020 for scholarship support was $136,000. We awarded, say $80,000 in scholarships. We had $23,000 in expenses, for promoting the program, et cetera. And these fall scholarships for 2021 was $28,000. We had a balance close to $5,000. We got another grant from the county, thank you very much, for $50,000. We awarded $18,800 for the spring. So right now our balance is at $36,435.71. So we are, willing, if you would like, to award some of this money during the summer, for students taking classes in the summer. Otherwise, we will roll this into the fall, and that's really up to the legislature about how you want to handle that. Because I think before we were doing the academic year, fall and spring without summer. So just an option for you if you want to think about it. You don't have to let me know right now.
No pressure.
No pressure. Are there any questions about the scholarship?
I have a question for you.
Yes.
And I had a constituent ask me, there's some kids that are interested in attending the school, but do we have transportation to the school? Is there designated routes or like pickup spots? That couldn't be answered at the school. I don't know if it's just in Coxsackie, but if there's any way we can have, talk to whoever we have to as far as a spot and get that information out to the guidance counselors in the schools. So that way those resources are available. So if we have somebody who wants to enroll, at least they know on whatever Monday, Wednesday, Friday, they need to be at a certain place to be picked up.
Sure. Right now, it's a very ad hoc situation, we have so few students on campus right now because of COVID. We typically, during normal times, we have a ride share board where students, connect with each other. But really the only organized transportation is Greene County Transit, which runs from downtown Catskill, to the campus.
Right.
If I could jump in just.
Yeah, sure, Warren.
An excellent question. And Greene County Transit has been going through changes because of COVID and the challenges with that. But we have a meeting set up with Greene County Transit specifically to address this issue and look at the marketing aspect of it. We would love to get more direct marketing material and support directly from the college to the schools. And our marketing director has been in contact with the college's marketing director, and we're going to follow up our meeting with GCT and then have a meeting with the college, because this is on our agenda as well. We always have to keep up with connecting riders with the system and the programs that are out there. And it is a challenge because we don't have a transit system that is so large it goes everywhere and everybody can get it. So it takes a lot of work to line resources up and people to put them on the buses. But we will be having those meetings coming up short.
Right, I was just, scheduling, because I know this one family, they use like trailways to get from one point to another and catch another bus to go. And
Yeah,
You
we
know.
wish the high schools had some kind of transportation, but it's complicated.
yeah, it's just putting it out there. That's a
Yeah, it's
concern that's there, and
complicated.
I'm just addressing it and bringing it to your attention.
Yeah. No,
to hopefully we
we're-
can remedy this thing.
And thank you. We would love to have a remedy because that is one of the biggest obstacles for our students is a lack of transportation. And, you know,
And we're using GCT on this, which now you have to watch how you're funding that through DOT
Right.
and those sort of programs. You have to get the bus on the roads to begin with.
And routes are changing because
Definitely
bus drivers are hard to find and hard to get.
Yeah.
So that's a big challenge too.
exactly. If we could just start carpool service from, each of the high schools, it would be delightful, but again, it's complicated. Everybody's got different schedules and, we listen, thankfully, I will say that there's a silver lining to COVID, and that was that it upended higher education completely. And what we've accomplished in 2 years would have taken many, many years, and that is the pivot to remote and online instruction. So many of our students are opting for the remote and online modality. I really support an in-person environment, but if we are serving students in a beautiful way through virtual learning, then we're really grateful for that. And our faculty are amazing, have incredible responses from students about the effectiveness of the classes, and they're very pleased with the faculty. The faculty worked all summer in 2020. They worked all summer in 2021, perfecting their techniques. Practically no one on the teaching side of Columbia Greene had done virtual teaching before. So we've come a long way.
Yeah, I'm just looking to make sure we can afford or exhaust every resource that we can for somebody that is in the county and want to utilize the local community college.
We really, really appreciate that. And the other thing that I'm concerned about is, is the toll, on the bridge. That's tough for students. Are there
Anybody
any other
else?
questions? I'm sorry, go ahead.
Anybody else have any questions?
Are we scheduling a meeting with the Columbia County Board of Supervisors and the college as a joint meeting? I know we've done that in the past.
Yes, it's going to be May 16th.
Okay.
I think it's at 4:00, as I recall.
Anybody have anything else?
We have a board meeting that evening at 6.
I was gonna say, it sounded familiar.
Yeah.
Well, it shouldn't, I would hope that it wouldn't last
Right.
until 6:00.
We were either gonna push our meetings, Mike mentioned pushing our meetings back to like 7, or we
That's the
discussed
full board
Tuesday.
meeting. 16 is the full board meeting.
No, 16 is committee, or you push them off till Tuesday night, doing the college meeting Monday.
And Dr., the meeting's at 4. you said?
At 4.
That should work.
And we'll need to make a motion to adjust that night's meeting to 7 p.m. just to give us that latitude.
Just a suggestion, any way you could just move the meeting there, everybody here, if it's in their schedule, just go to the college. Guys, we have the meeting and conduct county business there.
That's about the venue that the school would have for us. We would have to Zoom in.
Yeah, because I don't have access.
Oh, right.
All of our software.
I get it, yeah. I just thought it'd be a good thing that it was there.
Yeah, because we're very happy to host you. I mean, we have, obviously technology capabilities, but we've got things that are here.
Well, could you do the opposite? Could they come here?
I was just gonna ask that.
Oh, you could,
Right?
Yeah, they're-
Would you have the ability to come here?
but then you have
It's
all the
Columbia
board of
County too.
supervisors from
It's
Columbia
Columbia
County.
Columbia County
So they'd have to-
Supervisors on the Board of Trustees.
Yeah, so let them pay
So it's
people
the
coming
two
over
boards.
for a change.
Hello?
It's like the college.
No, totally. Right. You could do our night too. Push it to 7. We've often doubled up committee meetings.
Okay.
We'll come back to this. Yeah, we don't need to.
All right.
No, we'll come back.
Okay, thank you, President Drummer.
Okay.
Pleasure to have you here.
Thank you. I just want to give you a report on enrollment.
Okay.
So right now we are up 5% in applications over last year. I think this is a really good sign. We had an incredibly successful admissions open house last Saturday. There were 189 people who attended. And the energy was back in the halls. Parents were just so excited about, what the college offers. It was great. It was just such a spirit lifter, I have to tell you. So hopefully, many of those students will be arriving at our doors, in the fall. We also, we have a new director of marketing, Maureen Sager, who hit the ground running on February 14th. And she has really amped up outreach through social media and newspapers. She's doing on Mondays now a release to the print media called News Roundup. In March, we reached 24,000 people on Facebook, which was up 86% from February. And we engaged, meaning that people responded to our call to actions, 4,400 people. And that was up 278% over the February total. So we're really pleased with, with the way we're getting the word out at this point. The other exciting piece of news I have is that we are completely overhauling our website, which is very much in, solidly sitting in the 1990s. And it's going to be rolling out in early summer, and it's going to be a huge game changer for the way we share information. So excited about that. I also just wanted to give you a brief overview of where we're headed with respect to some innovations in programming. We have 8 new concentrations in healthcare. And that would be in health science, chiropractic medicine, medical imaging, X-ray or ultrasound, physical therapy, occupational therapy, pharmacy, and physician assistant. Those are all transfer
Wow.
tracks.
That's awesome.
So we're excited about
Excellent.
that.
That's great.
We have 2 new concentrations in humanities, digital design and communication. And we have 2 new concentrations in social science, history and psychology. In our medical assisting program, we are seeking accreditation from CAHEP. Higher ed loves acronyms, and that stands for the Commission on Accreditation of Allied Health Education Programs. We are already certified by the Medical Assisting Education Review Board, but the CAHEP stamp of approval will enable our students to sit for a registered exam rather than a certification. And what that's going to mean for them is that they will be able to get better jobs at better pay. And the employment opportunities are enormous, coming from that. Columbia Memorial Healthcare has been very insistent that we start training LPNs, which is complicated because of the lack of clinical sites. If our medical assistants have if they are registered medical assistants, that will replace an LPN and the hospital will be able to hire them, which is really great news. We also have a brand new, what we call a micro credential. And that is what we call a stackable credential that you earn new skills to tack on to a degree that you already have. So right now we are offering micro credentials in business, cannabis retail and operations, cannabis cultivation and processing, healthcare facilitator, advanced home health aid, and EKG training. On the non-credit side of the house, we have a micro-credential in customer skills for professionals. We are also laying the foundation for hybrid and electric vehicle certification in automotive technology. We've got to make sure that our auto tech graduates are ready for 2025, when no car manufacturer is going to be putting out just a gas-powered engine anymore. It's all going to be hybrid. By 2030, we will all be driving electric vehicles, which is really exciting. However, that's going to mean that, I'm looking at my VP for finance, that how many electric charging stations are we gonna need in our parking lot? One at each spot. Anyway, but it's very, very exciting. We also just equipped 9 classrooms with state-of-the-art technology so that we can have hybrid and high-flex classes in the fall. So we're really, we've made a lot of progress in spite of COVID. I'm really proud. Partnerships. I know you know about our use of force simulator training room, and law enforcement agencies, not only from the counties, but also from beyond, in Albany, Rensselaer, as far north as Canada, are coming down to get trained in our space, which is awesome. And because of that room, we are able to offer police basic training program, which our professor Bill DeLuca, whom I'm sure you know and love, it was his brainchild, and he's been working on this for quite a while. We finally got it passed, and everybody's really thrilled with it. What that's going to mean is that people who are going into law enforcement, well, if you're 21, you can get a job, working as a police officer. So what's going to happen is that people who go through that training are not going to necessarily be funded by the counties, by the departments. They're going to, they're just going to come into the college. They're eligible for financial aid, and they'll be able to get the training and then be ready to go to see Sheriff Kuzminski. So that's something that's very, very exciting for us. We also have a wonderful program with the Caro Library. We are right now in survey mode. We've tried to offer courses there 2 times. No one signed up, and I think I'm blaming COVID for it, but we decided that maybe we weren't offering what people wanted. So we are distributing a survey very widely to see, asking people, what are you interested in learning through the Caro Library? So we're going to have a little mini satellite there. I'm also in conversations with Superintendent Wick Torco up at WAJ about offering some classes up on the mountain. So we haven't, carved out anything formally yet, but he's very eager to help us with that. Finally, last but not least, on partnerships, we just got a new clinical site for our nursing program at Albany Medical Center.
Great.
Thrilled with that. Anyway, and I want to end, and we were so saddened by the passing of Jack Keller. He was such a wonderful advocate for the college, and we have a partnership with Olana for our students in business, art, and environmental science. Part of that program is that there's an internship that students can apply for the summer. Jack was so looking forward to working with our interns. And anyway, I have been in conversation with Jack family members. We are hoping to start a scholarship program in his honor that would pay for this internship at Olana. So if you can help me spread the word about that, I would really, really appreciate it, because we want his legacy to live on both at Olana and the college. So, any questions?
Could you just repeat the concentrations in healthcare? I know you said physicians,
Sure.
assistant track, some of the other.
Absolutely. Okay, health science, chiropractic medicine, medical imaging, X-ray or ultrasound, those are kind of grouped together. Physical therapy, occupational therapy, pharmacy, and physician assistant.
Thank
I have a question.
Sure.
Harry Lennon. Have we been able to look into any of the programs that we spoke about over the last 2 to 3 years? Electrician program or electrical lineman program? Have we made any progress on that? Have we looked into that?
I'm glad you asked. Yes, we are in very active conversations right now with our building construction technology faculty member, Andrew Saltano. What we're trying to do is offer electrical wiring, HVAC, and plumbing that will be they'll become like certifications for the building construction technology program. And I think, that's going to be a big boon, to the students who are in that program. And it's going to help us make more use of the space, because we'll be able to offer those courses at night and on the weekend.
because nationally, there's a shortage in that profession. I just thought it would be, in even the electrical lineman type, we talked about that, where they work on the power lines. There's a major shortage in those jobs. Something we can look at, in the future also to add on.
Yeah,
Thank
absolutely.
you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We haven't looked at electrical linemen yet, but that's certainly something that we'll keep on the radar. Anything else?
Sounds like you've made a lot of progress in the last 2 years.
We have. I cannot tell you how proud I am of the faculty and staff
And
for
should be.
persevering through the COVID. I think we all learned a lot about ourselves, and it's had its challenges, but we've kept forging ahead, and I'm really
Thank you
happy
for
with
all your
how it
efforts.
is right now. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful evening.
Thank you.
And now from Cooperative Extension, Sarah Roberts, who is the market manager of Taste New York store, to give a brief update. She here? Huh?
Hello, everybody.
So there's two of us. We're actually both from Cooperative Extension. I'm just before Sarah starts, I'm Connor Young. I oversee our natural resources, horticulture, environment, facilities, and ag, those types of programs. I'm going to give a couple of updates along with Sarah.
So my name is Sarah Roberts. I'm the new market manager at the Taste New York store at the Welcome Center in New Baltimore. I started back in September. It's nice meeting you all for the first time. The last 2 years of the pandemic have obviously been difficult for retail, but we've been really lucky to have been able to support dozens of local businesses through the Taste New York store. As the restrictions have been lifted, we're looking forward to a really busy summer season this year as more folks are getting out and traveling back to numbers that we had before pre-pandemic. 2020 was obviously a really difficult year, but in the years that have followed, we have seen a steady increase in traffic. Our gross sales in 2021 were up 36% from 2020, totaling about $758,000, which was up from $485,000 gross sales in 2020. And based on the trends we've seen so far this year, we are expecting an even bigger increase. Just for example, January through March in 2019, we made about $80,000 at the store. And then 2020, right before the pandemic hit, more people coming to the Welcome Center, getting more return visitors. We saw just over $110,000 in sales. In 2021, obviously that dipped a bit down to $77,000. But this year, we're seeing an increase from that, so about $81,000 in sales, January through March in 2022. And even this past November, right after I started, we did have a few record-breaking sales days right around the Thanksgiving holiday, which is obviously one of our busier days after summer, Memorial Day, and things like that. Some news is that we are hoping to host our first ever farmers market at the Welcome Center this summer from either June or July through October, featuring hopefully primarily Greene County and Columbia County vendors. It'll give us an opportunity to showcase agricultural products that we don't really get to sell at the store on a day-to-day basis. So, like fresh vegetables and fruit and things like that. They're not shelf stable enough to be at our store during a slower season. So we're really excited about that. And we're working on getting that approved by the Thruway Authority. And so hopefully that gets something to invite you all to stop by and check that out. As far as our impact in Greene County, we're always looking to get more Greene County vendors into our stores. So right now we're really ramping up our outreach with trying to get some local producers in. Our real challenge there is really just getting, they're small business owners, they're very busy. So getting folks to follow up and fill out our application, which myself and our assistant manager are always available to provide technical support on. We want to make sure we're utilizing, the buying power of the Taste New York store as much as possible in the local economy. And I was planning on getting some sales tax revenue numbers together for you, but unfortunately our account had a family emergency. So if anyone's interested in that, I can always send that over at a later date. And employment, we currently employ 10 associates and 7 of them are Greene County residents. Our assistant manager is also a Greene County resident. And we are looking to hire some seasonal help at the store this summer, 1 part-time and 2 seasonal employees. So that's my overall update about the program. If anyone has any questions. Sorry, I didn't bring any samples. Next year I'll bring samples.
So the numbers that you had are sales numbers?
Just our gross sales.
Gross
Yes.
sales. So that's not even profit, that's just.
Those are, yeah,
sales.
correct.
Okay, Connor,
Sorry about that.
that's all right.
Yeah, usually we work together. So speaking of which, Sarah and I also work together on trying to not only provide that outreach, but work with our regional ag specialists or horticulture specialists to identify new products and new connections for Sarah to pursue and kind of hopefully open those channels up. But more on the programmatic side, first of all, Evan Antonio, our executive director, he sends his best. He couldn't make it tonight, but he always likes attending here when he can. But so I'm kind of in his stead in part. So if you do have questions about the General Association, you can let me know. Otherwise, a couple of numbers, and then I wanted to offer a few updates of things that we're doing that are relatively new. And so first of all, with the pandemic, we are now fully open, fully operational. The majority of our programs are in person again. Masks are optional in most cases. We try to provide any special considerations that we need to, but once the spring comes, we do a lot outside, and this includes youth 4-H as well. So we're not really seeing the last minute cancellations or shifting in where we're located or how we're operating. So it's very positive in that way. With visitors, soil samples, tick identification, all of those things are up and running. So you can spread the news there. We're ready for the spring wave of interest in gardening and outdoor activities. But in terms of website traffic, we saw a pretty massive spike. I think in 2021, we had about 90,000 visits across our site, which includes invasive species, 4-H, family and consumer sciences, and a lot of natural resources. Last year, one of our main topics for calls were jumping worm, spotted lanternfly, and maple anthracnose, like fungus from that really heavy, wet summer. So we're hoping this summer might be a little different, but our Facebook reach, we had about 130,000, which was up quite a bit from the year prior. And lastly, our emails opened, which is how we kind of track how people are understanding what we're doing, what we're offering, was up to 20,000 from about 13,000 this past year, which is really meaning that those emails are coming into the inbox and they're opened, read, and then hopefully engaged in attending our program. So in terms of programs, we're actually hosting about anywhere from 10 to 20 more than we did last year, which was upwards of like 40 public programs that are available for any and all audiences to attend. Some of the increases we're going to see are in agroforestry. We're seeing more interest in, actually our woodlot owner audience is increasing across the board. I should probably start there. We're out of our Master Forest Owner Volunteer Program, where we offer a free visit from a trained volunteer with support from our staff. Greene County was, along with Columbia County, the most visited and frequently requested county in the state. I think a lot of that is new landowners, people engaging with their woods for the first time in a while, or they bought property and then like 6 to 9 months later, they're like, all right, I've considered the infrastructure now, let's look to the woods. So we're trying to be there for that, which is a pretty prominent program for us. And those public programs for agroforestry, we're increasing some of the offerings we have for expert level to be able to expand operations, diversify income, revenue streams, as well as incorporate like underutilized acreage that isn't necessarily valuable in a conventional sense. And those are selling out every time. So we're trying to offer about 5 more this year than we did last year. So that's mushrooms, that's ginseng, that is maple, that is any understory crops, that is anything like that. So those are booming. And then we're still offering our climate programs as well as our logger trainings. Our climate smart communities programs for municipalities, the logger trainings as well. We do most of those slots are safe for loggers or forest professionals, but if there are spots available, especially within the mountaintop area within the New York City watershed, it's more subsidized there to help those loggers with some of those opportunities. So, we're seeing an increase in our volunteer engagements as well. We have upwards of 6 to 10 new master gardeners coming on board this year in a training that they're in now, as well as about 30 new master forest owners, which is a big increase. Last year we had another 20 join, and so we're I think we're excited about the year, and I'm happy to answer any questions you might have and about any of our programs for that matter. But otherwise, feel free to stop by. And I should have mentioned before, President Drummond left, but we recently signed an agreement with them to formalize our partnership with Columbia Greene Community College to offer our studies from Model Forest and ACRA as an extended teaching opportunity for the students of Columbia Greene. So we have intent with Dr. Rebecca Pinder. She brings multiple classes. She's doing some citizen science research throughout the year. And we also have a new student doing an independent study. And we offer the property for those uses. So it's a living lab, get out, stream, stream, function, ecology, trees, forestry, whatever a student might be interested in. We're trying to make that as open as possible. Yeah.
Are you looking at offering or expanding cannabis cultivation or hemp cultivation? Is there an interest either for production or the retail side? Excuse me, especially with the college starting to offer micro credentials in that. Is Cornell moving down the path to support any programs?
I think so with subjects like that, usually it's managed on a regional or statewide level because the interest isn't so big that we need to have a local presence. Like if we offered a program here, I wouldn't even be sure what the attendance would be because the number of farmers that might engage with that are pretty small. But we do have connections and a specialist. I think that right now they're like Ulster and Dutchess, where some of that's happening. And I think Cornell has been increasing some of the research for the multiple products and routes that you can go and trying to help farmers avoid any contractual or marketing kind of pitfalls that can happen. Some of those stories that you might have heard from kind of hopeful endeavors kind of gone a little bit off the beaten path. So those types of services we're providing, I know it's a vague answer, but give us a call if you need us to connect with or any of your constituents, if anyone. Yeah.
Okay, any more questions for Connor? Thank you for coming, Connor. Thank you, Sarah.
You all very much. Thanks, guys.
There are no agenda items for the month of April. Is there anything else to come before county resources?
Motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn by Lavera,
Second by Thorne.
seconded by Thornton. We're adjourned. Thank you.
Charlie, okay. One abstention.
One abstention.
Charlie.
Come on.
He's not on the committee, but he decided.
Okay.
All right, good evening, everybody. I'd like to call Public Safety Committee meeting, Public Safety Committee to order at 6:45 PM. There's two proposed action items before we get into that. With us tonight, Sheriff Kuzminski.
I was ready to jump in.
Good evening, everybody. All right, this month we did 186 civil attempts, served 98 civil papers, issued 190 traffic tickets, investigated 17 traffic accidents, made 36 arrests and 6 DWI arrests. We handled 455 calls for service, made 409 traffic stops, and issued 9 Narcan rescue kits. On March 1st, the starting jail population was 36. As of 3/31, it was 33, the high for the month being 36. Corrections officers did 44 transports, traveling 2,347 miles, totaling 82 hours, moving 45 inmates. We have 5 state-ready inmates in our custody. We're continuing our work on the range and body cameras and hope to have those evaluations completed in the next month or two. The Reach Center has hired a new reentry counselor to replace Kim Walker, who went to Greene County probation last month. She just started last week. Seems to be fitting in well at the moment. We also are looking for children for the Sheriff's Summer Camp this year. We have 15 signed up and we have 20 slots. So we still have 5 available. If you know of any children, I believe the ages of 9 or between the ages of 9 and 12 that could benefit from a program like that.
What is it?
Uh,
What's their candidate?
from Greene, County, got to live in Greene County, ages of 9 to 12, it's on the website, and I believe that demonstrates some sort of a necessity, kind of, basically we're trying to reach out to people who would not normally be able to put their children into something like that. It's a great program. We have a deputy actually, of our SROs going as a counselor. We had Jim one last year. Deputy Rogers. The only other thing I have is that just to know what we're doing in the new facility, we hosted a jail time calculation class at our facility, and we had 9 counties show up and participate. So we are utilizing all those, the training rooms. That's all I got. Question?
What is Deputy Espel doing now?
Oh, I forgot about that. Good thing you brought that up. Deputy Espel, we should have approved.
That's right.
Yeah, that was approved a while back. He went to Florida, was trained and issued a canine therapy dog. And that dog is in service and at the care of Durham Elementary School, which so far the reviews have been there a week. So far the reviews have been pretty good, been well accepted. It's fitting in well. Ulster County's already knocking at our door, finding out how to do it because they want one. So seems to be a good program. We'll see how it goes. Good. It's all good.
Good report in the Daily Mail as well.
Sorry?
It was a nice story in the Daily Mail about it.
Yeah, right. That came right out of our face.
Was that good?
Questions? Thank you.
All right,
Thank
thank
you.
you, Sheriff. And also this evening, we have Deputy Director of Public Safety, Randy Olmrod, 911 Center. Director Farrell is unavailable to attend this.
Welcome back, Chairman. Run over some numbers real quick for you. For the month of March, we catted 504 EMS calls, 180 fire calls, and 1,211 police type calls. We answered the phone 5,011 times for inbound calls into the 911 center, and there were 149 dedicated sheriff's rollover lines. So, I'm happy to say that today we started replacing the 911 phone hardware equipment that was supposed to be done back in October of 2021, but due to COVID, things sold out. They started migrating over all the data, and when I left at 5 o'clock, that migration has been completed, and tomorrow will be hardware out the consoles where the dispatchers sit will be replaced. Hopefully tomorrow, at the end of business, that project will be closed out. I've been working with the 4 fire companies in the town of Hunter, trying to shorten their tone times during emergencies. Last night, I executed a plan. I'm very happy to say the plan worked. Shoot. For a structure fire event in the town of Hunter, there used to be nearly 3 minutes and 24 seconds worth of time. And now, after changing their tone matrix, it is down to 1 minute and 39 seconds. By shortening and removing duplications of tones will enable the first responders to have a quicker response to the emergency at hand. We've also been working with several in-county fire departments on enhancing their response plans for certain types of calls. Many of the fire departments rely on each other, so better defined plans to get the most manpower and the correct equipment to the emergency is essential. All this starts at the 911 center. From when the phone rings, these plans are all stored within the CAD system. There's a lot of building behind it. And so when there is an incident, the dispatchers will be able to send out what the chief has already pre-planned rather than waiting for the chief to arrive on the scene and to give us instructions. So it's a way to get the responders on the road quicker. So that's everything that's been going on. Call volume has increased. This is going to, with the nicer weather coming,
probably going to increase, so. But other than that, that's all I got. Any questions?
So the phone line that runs up Catterskill Clove from Palmville to Haynes Falls.
Yep.
So when that delaminated from the main cable a couple years ago, it kept getting worse. Like I got a hold of Verizon. I got them to put it back up. But one of the things I asked them to do was walk that line because as you're driving the mountain road, when you look down over, especially the upstream side of Florence Leap, one of the poles now is actually laying in the water with the line. If we get a flood, it probably snap that line. And there's multiple trees on the way up, leaning on the wire. So this weekend, I'm gonna try and get my kids motivated to walk the line and get some pictures.
Right.
And what I would like to do is, I'll send a letter from the town of Hunter, and also probably from your office would help to Verizon, because if we lose that line, communications are done. So, I reach out to you,
Yep.
or
You can reach out to me, send me the photos, whatever you have. We have a contact within Verizon that's dedicated to this area. Maybe we can put them onto it and try to get the repairs done before damage occurs.
I noticed another pole snapped off on the way down. A big tree must have landed on it during the week. But it's amazing how unkept that line is for what it does.
Yeah, especially being the only one that feeds the mountaintop.
Yeah.
So,
Well, from a public safety standpoint, that should take, precedent right there. They should look into this immediately. If that line goes down, now you're cutting off the communication. This is a major public safety issue.
Right.
First I've heard of it. I think that needs attention immediately, Randy.
yeah, there are diverse ways that it actually comes into the mountaintop from the Delaware County side as well as the Schoharie County side that'll come up on top of the mountain. So there are diverse ways. But
I mean, why take a chance? Why take a chance? I mean,
very, very true. Very true.
I mean, that seems to me, without knowing more about it, it seems to be that would be the main line going up the mountain. Why would we have to divert and worry if that's going to work or not? Again, in my opinion, I've heard of it. Looks like a major public safety issue. I think it needs to be addressed immediately.
Work on it. So Daryl, if you can give me pictures and stuff of that nature, I really appreciate it. So,
Thank you, Daryl, for bringing that to our attention.
You're welcome, Eric.
Great. Anything else? Thank you.
Thanks, Randy.
Thanks, Randy.
Thanks, Darrell. Okay, on the proposed action items. The first proposed action item is authorizing the subscription renewal for I Am Responding.
I'll second.
Handle, Dorrington, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So carried. And number 2 is reappointing members to the Stop DWI Board of Directors. Make that motion.
Lennon.
Hobart Lennon.
Didn't you hear me?
Charlie. I didn't hear you at all. Sorry.
You gotta speak up.
I did.
Harry talks louder than you do.
Charlie and Harry. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
I would like to abstain, please.
One abstention.
One abstention.
Woo.
So carried. Anything else to come before Public Safety Committee?
Motion to adjourn.
Yeah, motion to adjourn, Handle, and Rivera. We are adjourned.
Not bad for a Wednesday meeting.